Good afternoon all, it's Wild Weather here for liveweatherblogs.com. I'm going to start off here with the tropical update, and here is Hurricane Chris. Essentially, this is the first named hurricane of the year. Remember, uh, Burl didn't quite make it to hurricane status as it made it on shore in Florida, although the upper levels right above the surface showed that there was some hurricane gusts with the winds, but it didn't translate to the surface, therefore they didn't bump it. I believe it made landfall down there in Florida as a tropical storm with 70-mile-per-hour winds. But here is Chris as of 11 a.m., and it was a hurricane. It's a Hurricane Chris moving off to the northeast. You get the idea that it's probably going to start looping back off to the west and northwest here very shortly, getting caught up into the westerlies, if you would. Get an idea that there's a very broad counterclockwise rotation here. Big areas of a big area of low pressure in the upper atmosphere, and this is just kind of like, if you would, a center around the spokes of the wheel. As you look at, here's Chris moving off to the west-northwest, you get the idea there's another spin out here, and we'll get that one spin here, and then you can see another more important one here. Interesting. This even this feature here moving southeast, interesting, and maybe that has a chance to develop too, tropically speaking. I wouldn't put anything past it. You know, this is way far north of everyone. This is 41.1 north. 75-mile-per-hour hurricane with 90-mile-per-hour wind and 987 millibars. It's pretty impressive. This is June 21st. I know most outlets you see are saying, oh, this is out for the graveyards, nothing to worry about, whatever. I just find it intriguing that you have a hurricane at 41.1 north and it's only June 21st. Just shows you how warm the water temperatures are out here. The Gulf Stream coming up this way. This is, I mean, you draw a straight line west from here, you're talking, this is on line with, say, Nantucket, the southern coast of Massachusetts, 41.1 north, so interesting. Needless to say, that obviously there's colder waters out here, and Chris, as it does move up in this general direction, probably should weaken, but just interesting, that's all I can tell you. Just very interesting, broad southwesterly flow here. Get the idea up and over the top, and now we're going to bend off to the northwest here around a very large, broad area of low pressure. And we'll watch this feature here as it moves southeast. Maybe it develops, maybe not. Looks more subtropical, but this is definitely tropical in nature. You can even see Chris had a well-defined eye. Look at that. Very impressive. Although a lot of outlets just write this off, say, hey, it's no threat at all. This just kind of piqued my interest. 41.1 north at June 21st. All right, let's go on to other things here. This is all Weather Underground here, and if I go to Weather Underground here, and I'm going to go into the Gulf here, there's 96L here, and here are some of the models, whether it be the LeBar or the BAMS model, but you can see, generally speaking, there's an area of low pressure here, and some models, including the Euro, take it this way. Last night's 2 a.m. run of the Euro took it this way, and today's 2 p.m. run kind of took it this way and then bent it this way, kind of like that the NAM is doing. The NAM wants to go this way as well. I'm going to show you a few things here, whereas maybe the models are a little confused, and I'll show you why that is in a moment. Let's just take a look at the satellite here. And let's put this into motion, and you can see that little twist right there is what the 96L is for Invest 96. I believe it's TA or something. But in any case, there's a little twist there, but if you look off to the northeast, there's also one trying to get started here. What does this all mean? Well, the models may have a hard time right now latching on to which one of these two will develop. Would it be this one, or will it be this one? But we'll have to wait and see. There's also a little semblance of a swirl down here getting pushed. In any case, there's a pretty good troughiness down here, and believe it or not, this actually connects all the way up to Chris, and it kind of Chris left and left us all behind here. But we'll see which one it develops. Will it be this little twist here, or will it be the one up here? It'd be interesting to see. Right now it's about a 50-50 shot which one develops first, whether it be this one or whether it's this one. Obviously, if it's this one, Florida will be a little bit more in trouble. Probably sits out here for a few days and then moves this way. If it is in fact this one, probably moves up here and then does get shoved off to the west. So the Euro and the NAM might not be far off. The GFS seems to be latching on to this one up here, taking it across Florida and up the east coast, but offshore. So we'll see what happens. In anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. There's an awful lot of moisture associated with this band right in here. We're talking 10 to 15-inch rainfalls. Wherever this gets stuck, it's going to be very weak turning, steering currents. So if you're in the Florida Panhandle, just be prepared for some very heavy rain. You got a lot of moisture coming up here, and it probably will be sneaking up the peninsula. So already you get the idea that there is a broad area of low pressure. You can see on the bands of these clouds here, you can already see a little bit of a counterclockwise twist broad, and then you got these smaller individual twists, and these smaller individual twists will be what probably develops into perhaps Tropical Storm Debbie. Come probably this weekend, maybe Sunday night, Monday at the latest. But we shall see. It could be one of those situations where whatever does develops very slowly. It may even remain pretty weak. Just have to wait and see, because if you have two low pressures, one here, and then a broad one, they tend to rob each other of their energy. However, if any one of these three features, the large upper level, the small twist here, and a smaller twist here and here, if say two of the three die and leaves one behind, we're really going to have to watch out, folks, because some of the water temperatures out here are pretty warm. Let's take a look at those water temperatures real quick. If I go to Marine Maps, all again, it's presented to you by weatherunderground.com. If I go in here, and you see out here in the Gulf, some of the buoys are probably looking at some 85 to 90 degree water temperatures. Let's just go in here, see what we got here. Yeah, 82 degree water temperature at Clearwater. Some of the warmest waters are down here in the Florida Straits, and the warmest waters in the Florida Straits are looking at 82 to 86. So you just got to wait and see what goes on down here. Again, let's go back to that satellite, and well, that's 96 AT. And we're going to have to just watch out 96 AT here, and we'll see if it's this one that they're honing in on, or maybe something develops up here. My thoughts were up in this area, and you get the idea that if this does in fact develop, it will come up in here, but you can already see there's somewhat of an upper level system right in here. It moves out of the way, it would draw any tropical system off to the west. So you just have to wait and see, folks. We'll get a better handle on this probably tomorrow, get an idea where this thing is going. Right now, you're in Florida, especially up here along the Louisiana coast, over even to Texas. Just have to watch and wait and see. They could use the rain over in here, so we'll wait and see what happens. All right, for the Philadelphia area. Oh wait, one more thing. Let's take a look at the Euro real quick. And here's what the Euro is thinking as of 2 a.m. This is from phillyweather.net. Here's your low, meanders up, and then it moves off to the west, and probably makes landfall over here. So this is the thinking of the Euro today at 2 o'clock. 996 millibars, modest tropical storm, probably 45, 50 mile per hour winds, and then it gets itself to act together real quick again before it hits the coast here. So we'll wait and see what happens. All depends if the upper-level winds are conducive and favorable enough. This thing could take off in a hurry in terms of intensity because of the warm waters. So just keep an eye on that. Here's Intellicast radar coming up. Here's some cold front here moving off to the east. Lots of showers and thunderstorms over the Florida Peninsula. This front is slowly moving off to the east. You get the idea. This right here is some winds coming in from the southeast and southwest, and some convergence here along the Appalachians. Nothing out of the ordinary. Get the idea that maybe a prefrontal trough may develop here. If that's the case, then maybe get some heavier thunderstorms in the Philadelphia, Delaware Valley area tomorrow about this time. So we'll see what happens. Another hot day tomorrow, 95 to 94 degrees before this front does eventually make it. And next week looks an awful lot different as we go into a northwesterly flow, and actually shows some low pressures actually trying to make a turn here. And next week may look a lot different than this week. Alright, this is excessive heat warning continues for the Philadelphia area. This will probably continue right into tomorrow. Storm Prediction Center, in terms of severe weather, here's your front here. It says see text, nothing huge. Reports, nothing being reported today. So, and the convective outlooks, if I click on this, is from NOAA. Convective outlooks for tomorrow, the Philadelphia region, southeastern Pennsylvania, much of all of New Jersey, New York, Delaware, down through the nation's capital under slight risk of severe thunderstorms tomorrow. And we'll see how much more of this moisture train, some of this tap into the moisture from the southeastern states, maybe get some things going later on. All right. So going back to the top story, besides Hurricane Chris being unusually far north for June 21st, all right, 9680 right here, real close to the Yucatan Peninsula. Stationary for now, looks to meander up this way and then move off to the west, and that depends on this little upper level low here and maybe what happens over here. So, got a lot of low pressure areas down here fighting for energy, and whatever does develop down here will be slow indeed and probably will remain weak for the time being. And if it does develop, you're looking at Tropical Storm Debbie. That's all I have for today, folks. It's been a hot day today. Stay hydrated and stay out of the sun as much as possible. Get to the pool. All right, that's all I have for today. WildWeatherLiveWeatherBlogs.com.